Today on Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook, we join Wade as he field tests some future products for Cabela's. Through efficient validation of quality, fit, and functionality, the field testing process ensures Cabela's branded products will exceed customers' expectations.
You know, I think as a kid growing up, I used to open the catalogs up or wander the aisles of a sporting goods store, and I was amazed at all the products. And I never really thought about the innovation that went into them and the hard work behind the scenes. I just wanted to get out and go use them. And as I've gotten older, I've become more and more intrigued by the process that gets to that point. You know, who come up with this idea to make this bait or to change clothing or this new electronics items that we're going to find out there? Who thought about this stuff? And then as you refine that down even more, you know, who shared that insight? Well, over time, I've been blessed to be able to be one of those guys, to be a member of a trusted society, for lack of a better word, that goes out and talks about products. And it's because I've spent probably 40 years now on the water and in the woods, and that time out there doesn't necessarily make me an expert in a lot of these things, but I've seen a lot of products that have failed, and I've seen things that, you know, just didn't work. So when somebody comes up with a new idea, something that might be innovative, and they can get it out into the hands of the people on their different pro staffs, that feedback is really important. And what comes out of that feedback is products that are more apt to, when you open that package up and start using them as the end consumer, they're going to be closer to being right. When it comes to testing rods, for instance, that's one of there's a lot of personal preferences that goes into rods for guys. You know, what one guy may use a fishing rod for, another guy may totally use a different size, a different model. So it's important to get a lot of different feedback in a rod testing program out there. Just because it's labeled for flipping doesn't mean that some other guy might use it to drag a football head, toss his umbrella rig around, or cast a worm. And out of the process of testing products like fishing rods, which is something that we're doing out here today, what you learn and the feedback that you can give the rod designers out there really allows for a selection once it comes time to take it to the store, to put it on the catalog, to put it in the .coms. That really bodes well for the consumer, so that they can say, okay, this rod is listed for this, but within that range, there's going to be a wide realm of applications out there.
Just to see the level of knowledge that these guys have as avid anglers that are on the water 300 days a year. Unfortunately, as a merchant, I don't get to spend that kind of time on the water, and I spend a lot more time in the office. But we learn a lot and can get in the mind of an angler by just spending a little time with them, and it's really gave us an edge when we go out and we're trying to sell products to our customers. Because these guys are 2 or 3 years ahead of what most people are, just because they are the guys that are setting trends. So we're able to really get a good idea on what they're doing, and that we're really trying to help the customer ultimately. And you know, as we're helping customers, we're giving a better shopping experience for our customers, which really is who we're here to support and serve.
That's what you want to feel when you're flipping. You want to feel that sensitive bite, and I definitely felt that bite right there. That is a chunky bass right there. Chunky. I tell you what, I'm gonna drop my powder pots down real quick. That's what I like to feel. Right on the top of the mouth. Knew the bite was there. That handled it nicely. Let him go back. You know, when you're testing products, and I love the flipping pitch, so it's right up my, my desires anyway, but I've got specific things that I like when it comes to that kind of a rod and reel setup for whatever I'm doing. And number one is I want that sensitivity, but also I want that backbone and power to be able to horse them out of this type of cover. So fish number one, it definitely performed the way I wanted it to in this type of situation. But I think we need to catch about 100 more, just because we need to catch 100 more.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Cabela's. It's in your nature. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. Yamaha Marine, reliability starts here. Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder.
Being able to test products in real life application, no matter what it is so very key. It's difficult to sit there and think that you could, get a product, even though it could be, done where it's never placed in the environment that the average guy is going to be using it is, and thinking that it would be right. In this type of situation right here, we've got several new rods and several new baits that we're going to be, pitching and flipping around and cranking and reeling, and it'll be a real world test for this type of a situation, which would be reminiscent of what a lot of guys would fish it in. And when you can take that kind of data and compile it, it really does benefit the end user. Oh, he got strong at the boat. He came in pretty easy till he got to the boat. We're gonna let you go, buddy. We're gonna practice catch and release. Never felt that fish, I have to admit. I looked up, my line was going left, and it's not supposed to be going left. Oh, it never gets old. Never gets old. Yeah, I was looking up, daydreaming, watching the coots. Looked back down, my line was going, phew. I said, oh, I think I got one. If you fished very long, I guarantee you've had that happen. When it comes to wearing clothing, all of us are going to have different layers when we're in the outdoors fishing, hunting, doing whatever. So, you've got to find what really fits good and works for you. This particular one right here, it's got the Polartec technology, it's got guide wear. Everybody knows what Cabela's guide wear is, and it's just going to be designed to allow you as an angler to fish a little more comfortably than your average hoodie that's on the market today. What I found already wearing it in a really kind of a rough, cloudy, cold, nasty, misty, foggy day recently was it really cut the wind. And that's important when you're running across the lake at 70 miles an hour or you're standing up fishing in a 20-mile-an-hour wind. So that's what you're looking for, is something that's going to perform, allow you to be more comfortable, which obviously makes the day on the water a lot more enjoyable.
Wade is also testing the Cabela's Mean Eye Crankbait. This new line of Cabela's brand of crankbaits triggers strikes from even the most lethargic fish.
Come here, fish. Come here, bring back that mean eye. He's got hooks in the side of the mouth, hooks in the side of him. That fish there short struck that crankbait. He wanted it though. That's all he does. Alright, let you go back. Your mouth is far smaller than your body. Thank you, Mr. Fish. Catch another one real quick. We're just running down along these rocks here right now, catching some fish and trying out this Cabela's Mean Eye crankbait. Use some crankbait rod from them that they're looking at launching pretty soon. And the day has been very successful. We caught a lot of fish and had a lot of fun as well, but also been able to get a lot of feedback. And sometimes it's only 5 minutes, sometimes it's hours of time before you can get information that you can pass along. And I look at other times when I've had an opportunity to sit in on what in my opinion has been groundbreaking stuff, such as the Garmin Pan Optics. I remember when I first had an opportunity to use it, fished up in Oklahoma with it, came down here to Texas with it, actually field tested it in this little bend right up here and was just blown away immediately with it. And there's a reason why so many Garmins are being seen on the front of people's boats right now. They're easy to use, and people that use them are simply finding that the information they provide allows them to make better decisions out on the water, and they are constantly rolling out new products to help people in the outdoors. Oh, there's one right there, buddy. Oh, feels like a good one too. But boy, they all feel good when they're first load up. He jumped, boy, he just trying to go the other way. Oh, get out of those rocks. Man, not bad. Not bad. Let's go this side with the fish. Get away from those rocks. He's got it all the way down in there. Boy, he ate it. It's there right there. Yeah. He has a mouthful of treble hooks right there. You know, when you get out, and we're talking about field testing and enjoying the day as well, obviously. You just get to do so many different things when you're out that you can see how the product's going to perform and what it's going to do in these types of situations, because I think anybody can relate right now. I mean, the sun's starting to get low. We're probably been out here about 3 hours catching fish, testing rods, baits, different pieces of clothing. Anybody can relate to that. You know, you're got off work, run out, took your time off, and you got to go out and play, and you don't want to be dealing with something that's substandard. You want to be dealing with something that, you know, basically can perform as good as it can right out of the package. And that's what the Cabela's field testing program is all about. I think I got to catch one more. This bait needs to be tested some more.
The Fisherman's Handbook crew trusts Ranger boats to get them to and from their favorite spots on the water. Let's put your Ranger knowledge to the test. Which angler was named the 2015 Bassmaster Elite Series Rookie of the Year? For the answer to this, or to find out more about Ranger boats, visit mydreamrig.com. The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Engel Coolers, a legend in reliability. Bradley Smoker, food smoking made easy. Food Saver, the #1 vacuum sealing system. In many of these clips you're seeing, Wade is fishing from a Ranger Z520C, which is a high-performance bass boat for those that desire the best. The boat features an integrated tackle management system that both tournament and recreational anglers love. Wade powers this and all his boats with Yamaha outboards and relies on Garmin mapping and sonar to give him an edge on and off the water, as well as twin power poles to hold him in place when fishing. In addition to the Z520C, you'll also note that Wade is fishing out of a brand new Z521C, which you'll see featured in numerous upcoming shows. Both boat models are packed with tournament-bred performance to reinforce the ultimate ownership experience of owning a Ranger boat. Let's catch up with Wade now as he and Hydrowave founder Gene Eisenman hit the water with the Hydrowave H2. But before we can do that, Gene's going to show us how simple it is to install your brand new Hydrowave onto your boat.
Today we're installing a Hydrowave H2. I'm going to show you how simple it is. Everything comes in the box. You don't need to get any more material in order to install it. What I like to do is keep it out of the way of where I'm going to be fishing, but easily accessible so when I want to manipulate it, I can manipulate it. Basically, it's a red and black wire. You pull your panel, hook up the power, make sure you hook up the speaker properly to the top or bottom of your trolling motor, and just basically the same as you would do a transducer. Run the cable up, plug it in, and you're in business. Okay, the first step in installing the Hydrowave is to install the speaker. Some people like it on the bottom, some people like it on the top. If you got a structure scan transducer or anything like that, I like to install it on the top. In the box, it comes with these heavy zip ties. You don't really want to install the Hydrowave speaker with cable locks or anything like that, because you want to be able to roll it when necessary. That's the speaker. These ties will hold it plenty secure, but give you enough leverage in order to roll it should you want to roll it. A lot of people have it on the bottom and they don't want to get mud in it. When they get in a muddy situation, you can roll it to the top. Once I've got the speaker mounted, it's pretty simple. All you do is take the existing wires that you have from your transducer, run them up identical to what you already have. After you've got your speaker installed, the speaker wire and the power wire are in one connector. So you simply slide them in where you want it to connect and give it about the amount of slack you need in order to plug it into your actual unit. I like to drop my trolling motor, basically to keep things clean and out of the way as I'm working. But you can see how simple it is. Plug it on in, and then all you have to do is go under your graph, plug in your red and black. Now that I've got my graph back on, got the Hydrowave in place, the last step is simply putting my cable plate back on, plugging it in, and we're ready to go. That's just how easy it is to install a Hydrowave. Man, they were perfectly set up. So we're just looking for creeks and the openings. We never went to the real far backs of creeks, but they were set up perfectly.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Sawyer Products. We keep you outdoors. Hydrowave. Ignite a feeding frenzy. Arctic Ice. We put the cool in coolers. Wade and Hydrowave founder Gene Eisenman took an afternoon to fish the waters of Lake Bastrop and put the Hydrowave to use during the late winter.
You know, we pretty much committed to flats going into creek channels. You know, those bass are really pre-spawn, and they were sitting up on those flats today because it was such a good, pretty sunny day. You know, typically if it was cloudy or something, they'd move off. But man, they were perfectly set up. So we're just looking for creeks and the openings. We never went to the real far backs of creeks, but they were set up perfectly.
In that hole, wasn't it?
I told you just where you called me out.
I called you out. And see, you kept casting in there. I give you credit and all, because I'd already taken you away from him. I'd already hauled the other way.
They're not that smart.
They're not. I like that. I think we give them too much credit for being smart.
Yeah, we do. A little brains about that.
That's funny.
You know, we played with the Hydrowave a lot today, you know, and during the wintertime, you typically want to run real subtle patterns, but the bass were active, you know, so we got on a more active pattern, and we actually, you know, hung off in those creek channels a little bit and, you know, observed the bait, you know, and the bait would move, and we'd find it pretty quick, and that's what we kind of dialed in on, is one of those shallow flats right where the bait was just hanging off the edge in the creek channels. But we could really tell, you know, how the bait was moving and reacting to the Hydrowave.
There he is. Better one.
Oh, that's a much better bass.
Come here. There we go, Gino. Covering that water, making noise. That makes it fun, doesn't it? All right.
You know, like right here how we're fishing, it's kind of nice. You got a good drift and everything, and you're not really on your trolling motor, and you can really let that Hydrowave shine because there's no unnatural sounds as we're drifting. But with this chop, I'd turn it up quite a bit. A lot of surface noise. We will get bit right here. Wait.
Ought to be another one.
Starting to look a little too right.
You left me one out there, Gino.
Heck yeah. Just looking a little too right.
Yeah, the water's even a little clearer up here. God, that fish is so cold. He's not very big. He tugged it.
It's cold.
Right there. You go back and row up, buddy.
Man, we had an awesome day today. It's always good to get back with my buddy Wade and everything. It's winter time, but it was 70 degrees out, so it was a perfect day to go fishing. A lot of cool things happened today, and it was just perfect weather.
For any of the products seen used on today's show, visit Cabelas.com.
So Gene, we have to catch like 3 bass in this flat in this pocket in here before we leave because we talk about it on the show. Okay. So go get your game on. Is that right, Kevin? Can't leave here till you catch 3.